The Mica Miller death investigation was supposed to be settled by now. 2 weeks ago, the investigators released a video of Mica alone buying the handgun that fired the fatal shot. And they also released that 911 call in which Mica announces her plan very calmly to the operator to kill herself, wanting the operator to know the location so her family can find her. But that is still not enough for Mica's family to accept that she and she alone, the troubled wife and apparently abusive South Carolina pastor, is responsible for her own death. Family says this new exclusive video of the exact spot where Mica died proves that she could not have shot herself, citing the lack of current that's moving the water and the position of the bullet casings. Tonight, we're also hearing from the very last person to see Mica alive. He's an employee at a gas station where Mica stopped on her way to the North Carolina park where she was eventually found dead. News Nation's investigative correspondent, Rich McHugh, has been on this story and breaking a lot of leads. He joins me now with that last part. So let's talk a little, Rich, about the video that you have of that exact spot where Mica was found dead. Last night, you showed us the fisherman and the exact spot where he found her things, and it is not the same as where her body was found. What is significant about the spot where her body was found?
Well, this is a video that was provided by her family to us, and it basically shows, if you're looking at the video on screen left at the very top of the video, this is where authorities say she were the shell casings, multiple shell casings and a live round, and where she ultimately took her life. Where the flowers are downstream, this is not even a stream, this is stagnant water. That is where her body was found. And her family's position is that, look, this water is not moving. This is stagnant. There's no way her body came all the way down from up on screen left, all the way down to over here. Now, we still don't know where in relation to this, to where we were last night outside in the boat, where exactly this is and where this part meets. But this is deep into this area, this cypress forest that the family walked there. They said that to get there, you had to walk through knee-deep water for 20 to 30 feet. Talk to her friends. They said Mica would not do this. She was wearing her work outfit. None of this makes sense. The family's saying, look, this is evidence that she did not, they believe this is staged. She did not take her life, actually.
It's fascinating. I keep saying the same thing. I would never wade into something like that. I'd be afraid of gators or critters or something, or filth. I would
This
just
is
be
gator country.
But then again,
this is gator and snake country.
Right. Yeah, and not only that, but you know, it would just be, look, I get it. If you're going to take your own life, maybe you're not thinking rationally anyway, would be the argument against that. But it does seem so odd to wander out into that bayou like body of water to ultimately take your life. So let's talk about the other unique information that you learned, and that is that Mica stopped for gas, which again is odd. Why would you fill up your tank? Your plan was to take your life moments later, but she stopped for gas and she stopped to get a drink before she ended up in that park. And you've been able to speak to the person who might be the last person to speak with her and see her alive.
Yeah, so this is in Mullins, South Carolina, which is about, I believe, about 40 minutes from here. It's also out of the way from, if you're going a straight line to get to this state park in North Carolina. But I went there, I talked to the owner. I asked him, you know, what she did. She basically came there for 10 or 15 minutes. He said she got an energy drink. But let's hear it in his own words.
Her car was parked over here, and she used the restroom and pull up and just come around and pull up over here to this pump.
That's where she got gas.
Yes.
She was here about like 10 or 15 minutes.
Somewhere there.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at the video, it tells all the time, you know, how long she stayed. Yeah, I can say about approximately 10, 15 minutes.
And nothing struck you as unusual.
Nothing, not at all.
Did she look like she was waiting for somebody here?
No. I don't know. She got the drink, came outside, used the restroom, the party party, got her gas, and she was left.
Just an ordinary day.
Nothing spacious, nothing, like just a regular day, regular thing.
Now, there's several things that are weird about this, Ashley. Number one is that it's in Mullen, South Carolina, which if you go from here, Myrtle Beach to Lumber River State Park, it's like 25 minutes out of the way additionally. So why go there, number one, if you're going to Lumber River State Park? Number two, there's this discrepancy about receipts. People have compared receipts from the day she bought her gas and this energy drink. There are two different receipts. People don't realize that. There's not one, there's two. One for $25. They said they got a new receipt machine days later, and people are kind of losing their minds. He said, much ado about nothing. That is a non-issue.
This morning, we're hearing from family and friends of Mica Miller, the pastor's wife in South Carolina, whose death has been making national headlines. Miller's body found in a North Carolina state park. Authorities say she died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Her family and friends tell News Nation they do not believe that she died by suicide. They say they have video to prove it. Investigative correspondent Rich McHugh has the exclusive details.
Good morning, Adrian. The case of Mica Miller here in Myrtle Beach has so many unanswered questions, but the video you're about to see raises even more questions for Mica Miller's family. Deep inside Lumber River State Park, after an extensive hike and through a stretch of knee-deep water, is this desolate backcountry where authorities say Mica Miller took her own life. This is video her family filmed when they visited.
The theory of suicide does not add up to me because you're telling me her body floated all the way down this stagnant water. And her belongings were all the way up here. We had to walk down a trail, a separate trail, climb through all this mud and trees and fallen debris to even get to where her body was, down the water. It's not like she could have, left her belongings and walked down the water and then committed suicide down here and then somehow the bullets and everything stayed over there.
So the bank where the bird boxes and stuff are is where the shell casings and stuff were found. And the gun was found forward of that right in at the water. And then her body was about 40 meters away. And the water doesn't flow at all. There's no way she would have floated 40 meters away from the edge. It is as if she was placed there. In surveillance footage we obtained through the Freedom of Information Act, you can see her leaving home, buying a gun, and stopping at this remote gas station. I went
in at 3:47 and said, "Are you singing this Sunday? I'll be at second service." And I said, "Yes."
Micah's friend Angela Clark was among the last to speak with her the night before she died, making plans for Sunday, offering to help with car payments.
She said, "Okay, I'm excited to see you up there."
Despite all the surveillance, she is not buying the official ruling.
This is not somebody that's ready to end their life. This is somebody that's making plans for the weekend, and getting her car payment made. Why do you worry about getting your car payment made? For that matter, why do you pay a lawyer $5,000 and file for divorce and have someone served? There's so many unanswered questions. Like I said, I can't wrap my brain around it. None of it there's so much that just doesn't make sense.
Her family agrees. It does not add up.
So you do not believe she took her own life?
I do not. I believe that it was all staged. I believe that the whole thing was premeditated.
It's all part of why the family hopes that the FBI is taking a deep look into this case.
We're not gonna do an altar call today. Instead, I'm gonna have you stand up and I'm gonna make an announcement. And, after the announcement, I'm gonna ask that you leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can, so y'all can stand to your feet. Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that, my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give, for the next, little bit. I don't want to, I'm taking a little bit of a break and I don't want to have to worry about the church. My break may be a few days, a few weeks, I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away. Yeah, it was self-induced and it was up in North Carolina. And we're gonna have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so it's all I can. Yeah, I'm just kind of going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And she wasn't, y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed medicine that was hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come. But, just keep our family in your prayers, and I'm gonna let Pastor Randall.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee Michelle. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and that share button. Also drop your thoughts in the comment box and let me know what you think about the story here. So I'm doing the story out of my state, South Carolina. You may have heard of the story. It's about Mica Miller. They say she committed suicide, but the family is thinking that it was a staged death. This is an interesting story because I have heard some other commentators present the story, and it is kind of really sad. Domestic violence come in all different shapes, forms, sizes, however it may be. Domestic violence don't always have to be physical. It can be mental or whatever. So by that being said, I know you guys are heavy on the Diddy bopping right now because everything that came out with him. And it's not surprising to nobody what has transpired in the case with him because we all knew he was that way. We have heard the rumors. So should nobody in this world really be surprised at what's going on with Sean Diddy Combs, okay? But anyway, it's not about him. This is about Mica Miller because we need to find out what really happened to her. It is a possibility that she did commit suicide, but I feel like, if she did, he probably led her to it. Mom can do shit and say stuff that will lead your mind to do stuff that you probably would not have done. So in this article, they found a video hours before she was found dead. It says 30-year-old Michael was discovered in Lambert River State Park in Robeson County, North Carolina on April 27, just days after she had served her husband, John Paul Miller, 44, divorce papers. Newly released video shows Michael pulling up to a gas station and entering a convenience store on the same day she was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot to the head. Her heartbroken family insists that Mica's death was staged to look like a suicide because her behavior leading up to the death didn't reflect of someone who was going to take themselves out, that was going to harm themselves. I believe that it was all staged. I believe that the whole thing was premeditated. That's what Mica's father said, Michael Francis. In the video of her outside of the gas station, Mica is seen pulling up her black sedan to a gas pump before she stepped out the car, opened up her gas tank, and walked inside. Inside the shop, she was seen walking across the store before she stand near a row of refrigerators, looking around, buys an energy drink ahead and heads back outside. Mica dressed in all black. Then she waited around for her tank to fill up. And at some point, she opened the driver's side door, grabbed her drink, and took a sip before closing it. And watching the nozzle of the gas handle. Once the tank is full, Mica removes the gas handle from the car and drives away. The owner of the remote gas station told the news report that when he saw Mica that day, he didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. Nothing seemed special. Nothing, like just a regular day. That's what the manager said. Mica family and friends do not believe that she took her own life. A friend of the family, Angela Clark, who was one of the last people who talked to her, revealed their final messages. The night before she died, Clark shared that Mica had texted her about plans for a Sunday service that weekend, and after the help of her car and asked for help for her car payment. This is not somebody that is ready to take her life. This is somebody who is making plans for the weekend, you know, and getting her car payment. That's what her friend said. Why do you worry about getting a car payment made for that matter? Why do you pay a lawyer $5,000 and file a divorce and have someone served? That's what her friend said. There are so many unanswered questions. I can't wrap my head around this, she said. Mica's father and sister also don't understand how she died and don't believe she harmed herself. Her family filmed a video of the lake where her body was found, as flowers stand as a place in the water in her memory. Mica's sister reviewed the video and explained how she is baffled by the fact that the authorities said that her body was able to float in stagnant water. Her sister said the theory of suicide does not add up because you're telling me her body floated all the way down the stagnant water. She added that when the family visited the scene, they had to walk down a trail and climb through muddy debris to get to where Mica's body was in the water. Michael said that the bullet shells casings were found on the bank near her body. So, okay. While the gun was found in the water, now that don't make sense. While the gun was found in the water and her body was 40 meters away. The water doesn't flow at all. There is no way she would have floated 40 meters away from the edge. Yeah, well, she fell into the water. How did that happen? Mica, did you fall into the water? I don't know. If it was 40 meters away. Drop your comments and let me know what y'all think. It also, it also, it also said oh, hold on now. It as if it was placed there. That's what her father said. A fisherman, Johnny Jacobs, previously told the news report that he found the 30-year-old mother fanny pack containing her ID, Bible, $500 before hearing crying and a gunshot go off. Lord, but if she was so much a Christian and her husband is a pastor and they deeply rooted in a religion, suicide would probably be the last thing that she would think about, even if she was going through any mental health issues, because Christians are real serious about not taking their life out because they know that it is against the will of God. So that is really a red flag. Jacob recalled maybe 5 minutes after getting into a slough, I heard a cry, a faint cry, heard it for about 2 or 3 minutes. Then the crying stopped. You ain't try to go check it out, bruh? He added, as if he added, if it would have been a person out there crying where I could see them, I'd have checked on them all day long. Ring doorbell footage shows Mica on her front porch at 11 a.m. on the day of her death. A little more than an hour later, a surveillance image shows her entering Dickerson's pawn shop where she purchased a firearm. Her husband has been accused of grooming her for years before they got married and of committing her to a hospital in order to steal her car. Sometimes these men with domestic violence, I've learned they want to drive you crazy. I've had a man told me that's what he was trying to do to me, was drive me crazy and make other motherfuckers think that I'm crazy. So don't put nothing past these motherfuckers because that's what they do. You know, like I said, domestic violence come in all different types of ways. It don't necessarily have to be physical. These motherfuckers do shit that'll make you just, snap. And being that he was a pastor, he was dead wrong. And you heard her say in the Bible, in the video, that if God is against divorce, but he's also against abuse too. Okay? So he definitely is against suicide. So, it's crazy, man. Crazy. And days after her death, her friends and family held a rally calling for justice for Mica outside of a Solid Rock church where Pastor Miller worked. The pastor stunned his congregation right after his wife's sudden death as he laughs, like I said, narcissistic. I'm gonna put some video. I put videos up there so y'all can see how this man is, bro. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Narcissistic. He drove this woman to kill herself, probably. Laugh and apparently entirely at ease, announcing his wife had died and her death was self-inflicted. He then told that he would not be taking a little break and to leave the church without discussing what he had just told them. Now, who the hell you gonna tell me a member of my church passed away and you gonna tell me I can't talk about it? I know you motherfucking lying. I know you lying. And if those members listen to what he said, oh, okay. Y'all really are sheep. Okay? He told Reverend Charles Randall disrupt the reports. He fired the husband as Solid Rock pastor, insisting he just bench him so he could heal. Nah, no, okay. Well, I don't know if he should fire him because he don't really know the situation. But I had released him from his ministry's function for a minute to get some healing. But why would he need any healing if they was already on the break of divorce? And from what I've heard, he already had the next wife in place. And some they wanted him to get some healing and some counseling and some guidance. Well, he is at the church. Y'all don't do that. You can't go through these things like this and just step right back into the same day. That's what the pastor said. See, that's why you never trust a pastor, a pimp, or a politician. These motherfuckers lie. Okay? He probably could have went back and preached the same day, that night, that morning, the next day, and the day after that. Mica's sister Sierra has filed a claim against both church and JP for following her sister's death. Court documents filed in Horry County Family Court accused Solid Rock Church of colluding and conspiring with the pastor to defraud and deprive his wife. The FBI has opened an investigation into Mica's suspected suicide after her daily journal emerged. Weeks before she died, Mica posted an emotional video in which she spoke of abuse within the marriage and offered support to anyone struggling with leaving a dangerous situation because they think God will be mad at them. Honey, you better bash Mister over his head and think about heaven later. Okay? You got to. God don't want you in that situation. I don't know what God you serve because I believe he do not want you in that situation. It took me a long time to realize that, God wants the best for us. He don't want us in situations where we can be hurt, abused, mentally, physically. You know what I'm saying? He wants us to get right. And in the Bible, it says, the man supposed to look at his wife as the church. Don't get me to start preaching up in here because that's exactly what he said. So if you defile the church, you defiling your wife. When you defile your wife, you defile the church. So how? If he's abusing her, you know, he got with her when he was really young, when she was really young. You know what I'm saying? They said she didn't have no kids. She was taking care of all his kids. Oh, Mica. Oh, I feel so bad for you. This man probably drove you up the wall. I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the hat. Oh, rest in peace, my darling.
So today my heart's a little heavy. I've had a lot of women that have reached out to me about situations of abuse. And I just want to tell you what a lot of people have told me lately and reminded me, because I think I forgot. I knew, but I pushed it in the back of my head just because of my situation. But you are the bride of Christ. Before anybody else's bride, male or female, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse. And you are the bride of Christ. And my Bible says that he took all the abuse you could think of for you so that you didn't have to live that life of slavery and bondage and pain. Jesus took it all for you. So you don't have to stay in a abusive relationship, whether that's sexual, whether that's somebody forcing you to take illegal drugs or alcohol abuse or physical abuse, psychological abuse, making you think that this is all your fault, or you're a bad mom, or you're a bad wife, or you're a bad husband, or you're not giving it your all when you know you are. God hates divorce, but why? According to everybody I've asked and the scriptures that I've found, it's because it hurts people. But does abuse hurt people? How do you think God feels about that? So I want to remind you, like a bunch of people have been reminding me lately, that I'm God's bride first. And even an earthly spouse who's a good spouse, when they know that their bride is being hurt, just imagine what an earthly spouse does. What do you think your heavenly spouse does when you're the bride of Christ and he sees his bride going through abuse and hurt? What do you think he thinks about that? So, encouragement in all this is you are the bride of Christ first before anybody else's. And he's got you.
Mica filed against just before her death. A bizarre 7-minute video of her husband recently posted by Ty Lambrin, apparently showing him lying face down on the ground as he moaned about medications and complications about being bitten by ants. In the updated footage, her husband claimed medication makes him go crazy and that he thought he was going to see Jesus. What I told you, he probably crazy. He probably off his rockers. And people love to use Jesus as their blanket. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see Jesus. That's what the husband said. I was going to see Jesus. That's what he said. And when the person behind the camera asked if they should call 911, he replied, I just need to see Jesus. I just want to go to heaven quickly. I don't want any ants to stop me. Tell my kids I love them, please. Long Brim, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, from Murder Beach, wrote a lengthy message attacking the pastor who had been accused of abusing and brainwashing Mica. Yeah, he a narcissist. He probably had all types of junk going through his head. She probably didn't even know whether it was God or the devil, because like I've always said, the devil is not what y'all see on TV. He is not the man with the horns and red with the pitchfork. He that fine ass man right over there that look good as hell, that's fine like wine, that smells so good like flowers. Okay? Remember in the Bible it said that the devil, Satan himself, was the archangel angel up there in the ministry of music, and he was beautiful. They say he was beautiful. Okay? He was the devil. She didn't know she was with the devil. Well, maybe she did know after a while, because she did divorce him eventually. But he was the devil. But anywho, this is what else it said. Just 4 days after his wife suspected offing herself, her husband was seen having dinner with another woman at a restaurant. There's always another bitch on the side. In order to get over another bitch, you got to get under another bitch. That's how they do nowadays, okay? Not calling them bitch, but that's just my lingo. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, in the picture obtained by the Daily Mail, the pastor was seen laughing while on an apparent date with another woman identified as Suzanne Skinner, 49. And I heard her husband died suspiciously. Like he supposed to been in a wheelchair, and all of a sudden he wound up in the pool dead. Somebody help me. Crazy. Sources saw him and Skinner on May 1st, laughing it up and drinking at a sushi restaurant in Murder Beach. They added, I've seen him there a couple of times with Mica too. She used to really like that restaurant. I was surprised to see him there so soon after her death. That's what I'm saying. He's sitting up there at the pulpit, faking it, letting I guess the senior pastors think, oh, he need to heal and grieve. No, this man being healed. Trust me, when you on the verge of walking out of something, your healing process already started way before the healing process. I know it's a different story when the spouse died, but you might feel a little sad or guilty, empty, but it ain't like that. Okay? It ain't like that. That man had done been healed from her. Shit, he had done drive her crazy. The hell? Anywho, he said he was surprised to see him so soon after her death with another woman. It was like he didn't have a care in the world. He didn't. And he didn't. It was kind of sloppy. Drinking and laughing with another woman. They did shots together. But he a pastor, he drank it. Pastor strength. That's why they turn. That's why they drink that wine. Yeah, they drank. Shot. He said they were taking shots before they left. He likes to drink martinis. It was well known around here that he was just not a nice guy. But this is y'all pastor. I got a picture of him because I couldn't believe he was doing this so soon after her death. Well, some people don't care. Like, I feel like we lost shame. The world has lost so much shame. People do not give up no more. We do not care no more. You know what I'm saying? Some shit I don't care about. If you know, you know. You know? So people have lost shame. People just really don't care. And that's all that's given is I don't care. She dead. I didn't kill her, but she dead. That's what he's giving. And now I'm moving on with my life. Okay. So he said the picture footage obtained by the Daily Mail show her husband scrolling on his phone and chatting with his female companion and taking a swig of his drink. When approached by Daily Mail, Suzanne Skinner, 49, denied that she was dating a pastor. He asked people, and I was the only one that could go. It wasn't a date. It wasn't anything. Okay, right. Let us believe that. Skinner was highlighted on a Solid Rock website before it was removed, with the husband conducting a funeral of her husband. Like I told you, Chris, 40, who died in 2021. And these motherfuckers, we slow. They really think we're slow. Salute. Robert Harvey reported that John Paul was dating Suzanne Skinner while still married but separated from Mica. Skinner's husband, Chris Skinner, passed away 3 years ago in 2021. It officially ruled an accident drowning. Chris Skinner was paralyzed in a wheelchair after an accident. He became a motivated speaker and was a good friend with Martha Smith, touching the hearts of several country singers. Okay, hold on. There is something disturbing that the pastor and Suzanne Skinner have in common. Suzanne Skinner's former husband, Chris Skinner, died from a drowning accident. Chris had a tragic accident some 20 years ago that left him bound to a wheelchair. He for life, according to Suzanne. He enjoyed going to a community pool often by himself. Now, if y'all believe that, what he gonna go to the pool for? Why he going to the pool? He can't even get in the pool, so why he going? What, to look at everybody else swim? Okay. Now that I think about it, I don't think I ever seen nobody out in the wheelchair at a pool. I don't know. Maybe I did. I just can't remember, but I don't remember seeing nobody like that. I mean, but why? Why would he go to the pool? On Labor Day 2021, Chris did just that. Really? But apparently something went terribly wrong. According to a report, Chris goes too close to the pool with his wheelchair and fell in with nobody around to save him. Oh, so he just gonna go. He didn't know how close to get to the pool, but he been doing this for a long time. But he didn't know that getting too close to the pool was not a good thing. Okay, I do not believe that. I do not believe that. And I do not believe somebody out there in a wheelchair at the pool by themselves. And now, if she would have told me he rode to the beach, that would have been something else. But the pool, no. Like I told y'all, we walking around with devils, demons, wherever. They all around us. People don't care no more. People kill you and just do not care, do not give a damn. It's reported that Chris Skinner was regularly at the community pool. Right. Harvey continues. Somehow on Labor Day 2021, Chris misjudged how close he was to the pool and fell in. Child, I do not believe that. I do not believe that. And furthermore, for safety and for health reasons, he should have just got somebody to go down there with him. Like, that is a freak accident. Like, come on, people, come on. That just do not make sense. And guess who conducted the funeral? Yes. Mica's husband, John Paul, conducted the funeral for Skinner. Now, I want to stress that this does not mean that Chris' death wasn't anything other than an accident. All of this is just circumstantial. Shabba. That kind of bothers me because, I just know how a person or an individual can make you do stuff. People can manipulate you to do things. And it really bothers me because I felt like this girl was a really good girl in my heart to heart. I really do feel like she was a special person. And he probably drove her to that. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things people can do that could drive you to do some crazy stuff. That's why I have to watch myself around certain individuals or do not be around them at all. God wouldn't want her to do that. And if she was in the church the way that she was, and if he was truly the pastor that he was, the last thing she was going to do is unalive herself, because that was before divorce, before staying in an abusive relationship. Unaliving yourself was probably one of the top things that God would forbid, So it also said the two were allegedly separated prior to her death. The pastor John Paul and his wife Mica had been separated for some time, long enough for the pastor, John Paul, to have a new girlfriend. Her name is Suzanne Skinner. And his girlfriend has an interesting past. According to multiple sources, Suzanne and Pastor John have been dating for quite a while. That's interesting because the pastor and Mica were not legally divorced. Okay, so yeah, but he a pastor though. That's why I don't trust them pastors. I don't trust them politicians, and I damn sure don't trust a pimp. The 3 P's. You do not trust a pastor, pimp, or a politician. Now they know if he's still married, he should not be engaging in no activity other than his wife. Meanwhile, Mica's sister says she endured abuse. Mica's sister said Mica was a God-fearing woman, joyful. If she was a God-fearing woman, unaliving herself would not have been what she would have done. That's all I'm saying, because most people know that is like a shame. Some churches won't even bury you with the plot or on their church ground if you did that. So it is a little suspect, but I don't know. If she was that depressed like they say she was, then it's a possibility. But I don't know. I don't think so. If like her sister said, she was a God-fearing woman, joyful, loving woman who did not deserve abuse she endured. He abused her. Maybe not physically that we could see, but mentally he did some dumb shit. I feel it. I feel it so bad. I was supposed to be doing a story about this, but I just wanted to see what more information came out. You know what I'm saying? Because these pastors, these people get up here and preach all about God this, God that, God this. But you know what I'm saying? You got to find God for yourself. You got to read your Bible for yourself if that's what you're into. You got to do this for yourself. You can't just go by what these people saying, because as you all know, they're human just like us. They going to do the same thing we doing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing special about them, but they claim they hear the word of God. You know? But if a psychic or a medium say they hear, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, oh, they the devil, they the demon. But a pastor can hear the word of God, but a psychic and a medium can't, you know what I'm saying? I know this ain't got nothing to do with that, but I'm just saying. Everything is vice versa. What we thought was good is really bad. If you're hearing anything about this from anyone other than the family, please question it. Reach out to her siblings or parents, she wrote. So that's my story on that. I wanted to bring that to you guys because I felt like, yo, something ain't right with this story. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's right up the street from me in Myrtle Beach or whatever, where this happened at. Last I heard, the pastor was on the run. Nobody can't find him. They don't got him out of the church or whatever. But it is very suspicious. I don't know if she took herself out like that. But what I do know, most people that know, if you in the Christian faith, unaliving yourself is like one of the top things that God forbid, you know, other than divorce. He'll deal with divorce, I believe. I don't know what God to deal with, but from what I know unaliving is like top thing that you would not do if you God-fearing, you know. Rest in peace, Mica. I hope they really find out what happened to you, you know, on the verge of all this domestic violence that's going on. We be seeing it right in our face. We really do need to make more awareness of this stuff, because people don't realize how bad when you hurt people, you know, those people tend to hurt other people. And also that, you know, just because it happened one time doesn't mean that it won't last forever. You know what I'm saying? That trauma lasts forever. When I tell you forever, forever. Flashbacks are a bitch. You know, just certain things, smells, just doing, you could be with somebody and they doing a certain way can trigger, you know. So all weekend and all week has been triggering for me, just listening and hearing about P. Diddy, Sean Diddy, whatever the hell y'all call him, Love, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's all plastered over there, all the abuse and all the things that he done to people, and we sit here and act like we didn't know that he was doing this stuff, but we all knew. And because of his stature and what he is in the world, that he was getting away with this. He sat right up there and posted a lie, saying that everything was a lie. You know what I'm saying? You can't trust none of these motherfuckers. You can't trust nobody, to be honest. Trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Always have your blinders off. Always paying attention, because you never know with these people. I'm rambling, and I it just bothers me so much, and I really do feel like he probably drove her to do what she did. Sometimes our faith is just not strong enough. Sometimes we be down in the dark pits. I've been there. Lord, I've been there. And it is just so freaking sad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just do not understand the levels of domestic violence. It's easy to say, oh, bitch, leave. Oh, bitch, just kick them out. It's easy to say those things. But if you're not in it or living it, you do not understand. You do not understand. And when I tell you, and I tell people time and time again, it lasts a long time. Even though Cassie don't got her little bit of money and all this stuff is coming out, because all this coming out is triggering her again. It's still gonna last with her forever. 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 But drop y'all comments down in the comment box. I posted some videos in the beginning before y'all get to this part, and just, for real, if you do get to this part and you listen to the things that I said about my experience being a survivor, it's a lot, y'all. It really is. I mean, you got to stay prayed up every day, because you just never know. And then you end up being in other relationships where it's triggering sometimes some of the things that happens. So we got to stay prayed up, and we got to stop victim shaming. We got to stop saying, you should have did this, you could have did this. If you didn't live it or you wasn't in it, you would not understand. You would not understand, I'm telling you. Domestic violence, somebody hitting you, having power over you, trying to take control of you, trying to control your mind, trying to control your thoughts. It's a lot. It can drive you literally mad. It can even drive you into doing things that you never thought you'd done before. Addiction, everything is a struggle. Homelessness, it's all a struggle. And like I said, when domestic violence enter into your life, it enter into everybody's life that's a part of you. Everybody kind of feel that effect. Everybody also is being abused because you're going through it. So if they're connected to you, they're going through it too. So it really do make me sad. And it really is triggering all week, just hearing about what has happened with Cassie. Well, just seeing it, because all it was just a flashback for me. I'm glad I'm out of that situation. I have another battle I have to fight and get out of. And I'm definitely trying. I'm definitely getting there. But yeah, it's just really sad. We're in a time where everything's just coming out, flat out. But don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and share button. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a great day, great night. Bye.